Okay, so looking at this, tell whether the statement is true or false. If A is 40% of B, then B to A is 60 to 40. Okay, now right off the bat, we should probably say, no, this is going to be false. Okay, and that's because if we're looking at this, uh, if we write this as A to B, right, that'd be 40 to 60. And if we're saying if A is 40% of B, then we're saying that 40 is 40% of 60. And this is false. Okay, so this one doesn't work here. So we're going to say this is going to be false, and we should be able to check our answer. Now we're going to get a lot of different questions like this. They're going to change the numbers around. It may end up working out right. So in order to check this, you may want to just make sure that you're plugging things into the right places, right? And we can set up a proportion to be able to check that we are, right? What it's saying here is that A is 40% of B, right? So A is going to be 40% of B. Okay, so then we're checking to see B and A get plugged into the right place. B before A, so 60 before 40. So they want us to plug in 60 here and 40 here. So we're checking 40 over 60 is equal to 40 over 100, and we can see that's not true. Okay, now if we end up with something that we're not sure about, we can use our proportion, we can check, and we can check this in a lot of different ways. We can reduce the fractions to see whether or not they're going to be equal to each other. We can do the proportion fish thing where we cross multiply and divide to check to see whether or not we end up with whatever is left out in this spot. Okay, there's a lot of things that we can do to check this. Just make sure you're being careful and make sure you're checking your work as you're going and it makes sense.